Well, hello again. It's day 4, January 15th. We've been off grid for 4 days now. So let's go take a look. It's 11:30 a.m. The sun just came out about half hour ago, about an hour ago. So we'll just take a walk around back, take a look at our panels, and we'll see what we're making. Now, I checked from my smartphone before I came out, and our big array off to the left, that's grid tie, that's producing 3,800 watts, and that's tied right into 240 volts into our main line, and it pushes that 3,800 watts to our whole yard. So that's how grid ties work. Problem with the grid tie is when the power goes out, the grid tie goes out. There's no reserve energy, no batteries. It's just a method of gathering energy and putting the pressure to your yard. If you don't use it, the excess energy goes through the meter rolls backwards, and then your neighbors use the power. So it's called a zero net program. Okay, well, let's go inside. We're focusing on this off-grid unit, this off-grid cabin we call it. And we have on here 600 watts plus 380 plus another 200. I had to unhook one of the 200s, or one of the hundreds, because it was over wattaging or over voltaging the controller. Even though it's hooked in parallel, it was obviously putting out too many amps and it didn't like it, so it shut down. I phoned the factory and he says it's rated for 150 watts. So if I were to take one of the 100 watts down and put a 50 watt up, which I think I will do because I like to test things and see if they really are what they say, I think we'll do that just to maximize the wattage and get as much power as we can out of stuff. I have a 50 watt inside anyway, sitting there doing nothing. So let's go on inside and let's see what's happening. Okay, so we're going to talk about the two MPPTs. Now, they're not hooked in parallel. They're on equalization, and they're not really working together. Typically, if you do an install, you'd keep the same brand, you'd parallel them together, and you'd make them work in tandem. So, but this doesn't hurt. These are all battery chargers. They're just charging up, but they're intelligent. As we were looking at, this one's in a equalization mode, absorption mode, and it's putting out 12 amps, but really it could be putting out 30 amps. So to get the use out of our solar panels outside, we're going to turn the heat up inside here. Okay, I turned it up to 8 degrees. I turned it up so that it's probably going to run most of the day, because it's going to have to increase the temperature in this room about 5 degrees. So that'll be absorbed. So now I'm going to come up here with that 750 watt running. That brings us from 14.1 down to 13 volts. It brings us down a whole volt, 1.3 volts, just the load. So again, that's a tremendous amount of load that we're putting. So now that we're down to 13.4, everything's going to go back into a bulk charge. We're going to go back here. Now we're putting out 20 amps. Remember, we're only putting out 13. So this will take advantage of the excess solar, and we're going to heat the room up at the same time. This is putting out a good 22 amps. So between all of these, we've got like 45 amps of power coming in. And if you were to plug into shore power, that's all that inverter charger really puts out is 45, 55 amps. So we're putting out the same amount of power here with renewable energy as if you were plugged into shore power. And so we're going to charge this up. We're going to see what happens. Maybe tonight we won't plug in, and we'll see what happens by tomorrow. Ideally, we want to run this building perpetually off renewable energy without plugging into shore power, as if it was a cabin out in the middle of the bush. And, we'd have to get up and go and turn a generator on. But will this work perpetually? My guess is maybe there's only 3 batteries, but if we were to increase the battery storage perhaps then yes. So that's it for day 4. And we're just going to keep an eye on the load today and warm this building up from 3 degrees to 6 degrees or 8 degrees. So that's warming it up quite a bit, this building. And then we'll turn the temperature down tonight. And hopefully tonight it'll just run off its own, it'll heat off its own energy as the heat drops, because it is insulated well. And if you're not in and out opening a door, it does hold its heat. So. And then, some of the other questions you have is, why do we do all this? Why do we harvest the sun and put solar panels up and wind? Maybe it is that there's a little bit of farmer in all of us. We want to harvest the sun, harvest the electricity. Yeah. Well, it's rewarding. And some days you get a poor crop of sunshine, but maybe you have a little wind. Other days you get a good crop of sunshine. Actually, in Alberta, we get some good sunshine. So this is definitely worth farming, solar energy. Well, it's about 4 o'clock, and it's January 14th. Yesterday we had that big storm, and well, today the sun's shining, and we've been producing a lot of energy, especially once we cleared up that shading, pulled that round bale out. That made a huge difference. I got into this business back in 2016, and the reason I'm running this broadcast is I want to answer questions that I had when I started. And all I wanted to do was really build a little off-grid system in my camper and make it so I could go out and camp without a generator. And it was a long journey. I found out I had to get into the business, but I love technology. I've been doing technology all my life. In fact, back in 2011, we started a project building a solar-powered wireless nurse call station. So that got sold in 2012, and then we came on to the farming venture. Some people ask, well, what do you do out there? Well, we enjoy life. And when you look around, you see everything that we sometimes take for granted. That you get in the middle of it and you think, wow, it's amazing. And you throw a few of these little animals into the mix, like the little goats there, and the chickens and the lifestyle. It gives a person purpose. Every day we get up and we have something to do. We come out and we have to look after the animals. So it makes sense at the same time. What if we were to create our own power, such that we're doing here? So this little shed now is working off-grid. It's providing its own heat, its own lighting, and it's producing a lot of energy. But isn't that what life is about? Energy? And if we can harness some of this energy for, dollars and cents, really, and if we can harness it without using, let's say, coal energy or other energies that are not as efficient or green, it really gives a person a good feeling that you can do this. I had RSPs all my life, and I'm not telling people how to spend their money, but I go in every year and check and see that I lose money. So I pulled it all out, and we started with the tracker there. That was the first investment. We thought it was zero net. And every day we'd go online or onto the app, and we'd see all the little bit of money we made every day. Not much, but made us more than the RSPs were making us. So, and it gives you a good feeling. Now this little project here, this is now running all on its own, and we're going to do various stages. We kind of stripped down our golf cart, but I'm going to put one of those bifacials on the roof of that golf cart. I think it'll work better. And let's go inside now and see how things are doing. I got some work to do, and we'll set up a little environment inside there.